Hello everybody, welcome. Welcome to this live stream about planet Jupiter, which is the planet of good fortune, abundance, learning, wisdom. Is going to change sign in a few days, on November the 8th. And every year, Jupiter changes sign. But this year it's particularly special because Jupiter goes into its ruler, Sagittarius. And it makes it especially strong and powerful, bringing amazing opportunities for great spiritual growth, for really seeing the world from different perspectives. I think we'll have an opportunity to really become a proper global community. It's really what's in the hearts of everybody, I believe, especially those of you tuning in with me here, thank you, is that we become supportive of one another regardless of our different opinions. Now that's the big challenge here. Jupiter in Sagittarius. Sagittarius has everything to do with the truth. That's why Sagittarius rules the law, the legal system, justice. What is just? What is fair? And when Jupiter is in Sagittarius from November the 8th, a few days away, until December the 2nd of 2019, so just over a year, it's going to be in its ruler Sag, where it's super powerful. So Sagittarius, it's a fire sign, and Sagittarius is about travel. So I think that we may see some huge changes and growth as far as travel and transportation is concerned. I think we'll see some huge advances globally in space travel. I think we'll find that people become freer and are able to travel more for business and maybe just live anywhere and be part of this global community and make their living that way. Jupiter is always about expansion. So whenever Jupiter moves into a particular sign, it's going to expand the characteristics of that sign. And somewhere in your chart, you will have Sagittarius. It will be a life area that will be magnified and you'll be able to grow this year. So it could be your finances, could be your relationships, could be your health, could be your career, your work, your family, your home. Jupiter often indicates a move of home because Jupiter's always got this restlessness to it. You know, there must be something more than this. That's why I see this as, before we move into Capricorn energy, which is very much on its way, we've got Pluto in Capricorn, we've got Saturn in Capricorn. In 2020, we've got a huge lineup of planets in Capricorn. So that's the serious business. And many of you have been already experiencing that. But now we get this window for this year, before Jupiter joins the party in Capricorn, as to how can we expand our consciousness? How can we see things from different perspectives? It's a bit like going beyond your five senses. It's a bit like not believing your eyes, not believing your ears, not believing what you're normally conditioned to believe. It's being able to see miracles. And miracles are happening in science. People who've been quadriplegic are able to take their first steps. There are huge advances happening. But what is happening, I feel, is that we are on the cusp of this change of age from having to work for a living, yes, being on this grinding treadmill of having to work, having to do this, having to do that, and having to work to survive. And I think there's a shift taking place between the mechanism of all the things that the mind used to do now being computerized, mechanized, and this can be the most wonderful opportunity for us, where survival is not threatened. Let's face it, I mean, most of you probably listening have got reasonable comforts in your life, probably more than your ancestors would have had a couple of 100 years ago. And so as we become more technologically advanced, as a lot of the jobs that used to have to be done by people are now done by machines, now we get an opportunity to explore our spirituality. Jupiter in Sagittarius, exploring the diversity of our planet, the diversity of beliefs, of religions, of the way we look, of the way we smell, of the way we taste, of the food we eat, of the languages we speak. It's wonderful. This is the most wonderful opportunity that we have. Because after all, when you've got food in your tummy, a roof over your head, the basics, you can get more of those things, sure. And many people with Jupiter and Sagittarius will continue to look for more of those things. But this particular transit is an opportunity to say, there's got to be more than this. And there is a growth and a wave of consciousness happening. A new consciousness arriving on our planet. And I feel that this Jupiter into Sagittarius now is an opportunity for us to really look at how tolerant can we be of one another? How tolerant can you be of yourself? Sagittarius always encourages you to take the bigger view, not to do the nitpicking. Don't nitpick with yourself and with others. How can we, I think there's going to be great advances with education. Jupiter rules education. Why? Because we want to learn more. We want to grow. What is it you want to grow into? Jupiter in Sagittarius this coming year is a wonderful opportunity. You might explore and go to a place you've never been to before. It's a wonderful time for traveling. It's a wonderful time for developing that spiritual side of you. That side that needs something more to life than just the regular mundane activities. And that's what we're looking at here. Jupiter, Sagittarius, certainly everything to do with humour and comedy. I think we'll see a surge of how to be joyful, how to live a joyful life. Before, you see, this is such a crucial year, before we have to go into the Capricorn era, because 2020, we've got the eclipse, well, we've got the eclipses coming up this year in Capricorn energy, so already Capricorn is encroaching. And Capricorn will all be about the structures that we want to place into our society. So Jupiter in Sag here for this year is a window of opportunity. Yes, thank you, Vegan Hawaii. Laughter is medicine. And I will explain by house, yes. But I wanted to give this overview Jupiter in Sagittarius is about being honest and seeing what is really true, not what you may believe to be true, but what is the truth. So truth, honesty, these are going to be really important during this coming year. You might want to think back to November of 2006 to December of 2007. That was the last time that Jupiter was in Sagittarius. For me, it was the time that I actually moved to New Zealand. So that was a huge move from England to New Zealand. That was a big expansion and a big change and a huge reality check. So it's an opportunity for us, because you see what we've got coming up there in this coming year will be Brexit. Britain, maybe, possibly, we don't know how, but leaving the European Union. Will countries put up their walls? Will you put up your walls in relation to people that you feel are from a different religion to you, a different way of thinking to you? Or will you open and embrace everybody? Jupiter has a tendency to go to extremes, to go OTT. So you may find that some countries really put walls up and say, keep out, don't, and get very rigid in that. And others will open boundaries. And maybe there will be the beginnings of peace in the Middle East. Maybe there'll be some big shifts there. But we've got some wonderful opportunities here with this Jupiter in Sag energy. So I've said I go around the houses. Yes, it will ease the sting of Saturn, Patty, going round those houses. And it eases the sting of Saturn when you balance what needs structure, what are your responsibilities, what are the things that you do. Somebody's asking for the Pleiadians. That's going to have to be the next video. Thank you for asking, Eleanor. They'll come. They're kind of always present anyway, as I think some of you can feel. So let me go around the houses for those, or let me go around the signs and houses for those of you who know where this will be for you. So for Sagittarius, Sag rising, this is a big year for you. It's a year to take risks. And Geminis, it's big for you too. Always the opposites. You've always got to look at the opposite signs. Yes, North and South Korea finally having peace. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Jupiter in Sagittarius. Bringing people together. Seeing our common humanity. It's the most amazing opportunity that we have here. And for me, I feel that this is an important opportunity, because once things all go into Capricorn, there's a chance that things become... There's an opportunity for us to create different kinds of structures. Kind structures, compassionate structures, caring structures, loving structures, where people come first. Not the money, but the people. Where we connect in global structures differently. How is the internet going to be managed? All these things are going to come when everything goes in 2020. So this 2019 is a beautiful opportunity for us to adjust our thinking. Who is it you don't get along with? Let's bring this back to basics. Who in your family drives you nuts? Who are you polarized with? What do you need to change? I'm not saying you have to be best friends with them, but what can you change mentally in order to accept somebody else's viewpoint? So there's going to be a lot of opinions flying around, including your own probably. And then once again, it's about coming back to seeing other perspectives, accepting them, even if you don't agree. Not easy. Especially when you're in close relationships. The people around you are driving you a little bit crazy. This is one of the challenges of Jupiter in Sag. So, Sag is Geminis. Gemini is going to be about your relationships. Big opportunity for growth in relationships this year. For accepting more in relationships. For not going to extremes. Bringing balance into your relationships. So that's the Saggies and the Geminis. For the Capricorns and the Cancers, with the 2nd and the 8th houses, that's going to be to do with your finances, your money, opportunity to grow in relation to how you see money, how you see yourself, your self-worth, your values, what's really important to you. Where are you putting your energy? Where is your time going? And why? Really become observant of that. Of course, it's a year when you could make a lot of money. And you could equally lose a lot, because Jupiter tends to go to these crazy extremes. Or your partner may make a lot of money. And then we move to Aquarius and Leo, 3rd and 9th houses. This has very much to do with your spiritual awakening, with learning, with education, with doing courses, with training, with writing, with publishing, getting information out there, sharing what's important to you, being aware of your communication. How do you communicate? And what is it you're thinking when you communicate? And Jupiter into Sag wants you to remember to smile. Just have to remember to use your laughing tackle. Sometimes we've forgotten it. I know for myself, sometimes I'm walking down the street or I'm thinking about something and I realise I'm so serious. What's to be so serious about? So sometimes it is in order to be serious and sad, not saying no. But moments of joy can come through anywhere. And it's about bringing those moments out. So then we move on to, what's my next sign? Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Pisces and Virgo, the 4th and 10th houses. So for you, it's going to be to do with your roots, your home. Many of you might be moving. Often restless signs, Pisces and Virgo anyway. Might be a lot of changes to do with your career, your work, your destiny. What you want to do in the world. And some expansion to do with family. And maybe even adding to your family. Or friends, maybe some friends who become like family to you. And then we move on to Aries and Libra. So this is going to be the 5th and 11th houses for you. And this has everything to do with bringing out your creativity, letting it flow, letting it all hang out. Doing the things that you enjoy. Finding more things that you enjoy and doing more of them. Because when you are a joyful being, and I hope you can sense how joyful I feel being online with you now. It feels wonderful, and people want to be around you when you're joyful. They don't particularly want to be around you when you're moaning and groaning. I know for myself. There's a lady in the vegetable shop where I go, the organic shop, and she's lovely. But she doesn't half complain. Every time I go in that shop, there is something that is not right in her world. Now I can see it from a distance. I don't get involved with it. And sometimes I'm silent. I really don't respond at all. And that's fine. I'm smiling. I'm not rude. But Don't be one of those people who's moaning and groaning, or become aware of when you're complaining. Because complaining is just, it's wasted. It's wasted energy. So this is this energy of the creativity, finding your joy, your Librans and Aries, sharing with the world, the global community, finding a cause that means something to you. And then finally, and last but not least, we've got the Taurians and the Scorpios. That's going to be in your 6th and 12th houses. So this has everything to do with an expansion of an understanding of your physical health. Maybe really getting fit and well, learning more about health on different levels, physical, mental, emotional. Certainly developing your spirituality, your connection with the unseen world. Because really these 5 senses, they're great. They enable us to survive. But now we're looking at thriving. We're looking at a different paradigm. And how can our entire world thrive? That's the question with Jupiter in Sag. Not excluding people, but how can we take people out of poverty, out of sickness, disease? How can we bring joy, abundance to every sector of this planet? That's the big question that's being asked at the time of this Jupiter in Sagittarius. I've said a lot there. I didn't anticipate saying quite so much. Yes, envisioning world peace and feeling peaceful inside of you. Feeling peaceful with the people around you. Doesn't mean to say that things won't come up, but how many times are you experiencing a joy with a person and having a laugh with someone? I have a great Sagittarian friend, she's Sag and Sag rising, my dear Nina Kula. She is always laughing. There's always a smile on her face about something. Always. She's a Greek who's blonde, which of course is very funny here. And she makes a lot of excuses about being blonde. And in fact, she's very clever. But really, it's about opening up to other dimensions, other portals, other possibilities. The work of Dr. Joe Dispenza, whose work I greatly admire, getting into the quantum field and having the most amazing healings where people are getting into that field of love and compassion and gratitude. And gratitude is a big one. Jupiter in Sag, the more grateful you are for what you do have, the more will be bestowed upon you. That's for sure. And that's why Jupiter into Sagittarius, is often referred to as good luck. It's a lucky charm. Well, maybe you make your own luck by your vibration, what you put out. So, I'll take a couple of questions if you've got any before I sign off from today's live stream. And if there aren't any, that's all right too. You can always ask them afterwards. I do read all the comments and I do my very best to answer them all. You can make comments on my community page as well. You can ask questions there. Lots of people are asking for the Pleiadians. Gosh, lots of people wanting a lot of personal things. Oh, Lizzie Luna, thank you, asking how am I? Thank you. I'm very grateful to be right here, right now with you. Thank you for being online with me, for sharing this experience. The things that come out of me because of our connectedness. It isn't just me speaking at you. Before I begin, I jot down maybe a few little bits and pieces on a piece of paper like this, basically. Just some ideas. And then the rest just sort of happens as I'm with you. And it changes a lot. Most of what I spoke about, a lot of what I spoke about, was not on that list. So I'll bring the please on a separate video because they would like to come in, but I'm in need of a drink of water and a bit of a stretch. So thank you very much for watching, for being with me, whether you're here now or later. And I'd love to hear your comments and feedback about how you feel about this energy of Jupiter in Sagittarius, because it's a wonderful time when Jupiter's in its own sign. Or you'll have Sagittarius somewhere, dear Nina. We've got another Nina online. You will have it somewhere, because on the wheel of the chart are all 12 signs. You weren't given 11 out of 12. Everybody gets 12. It's quite equitable. So, sending you much love. And let's see how we can come together and bring about a world that is joyful and equitable for all of us, where everybody can bring out their uniqueness and it's accepted. So, thank you for listening. Bye for now.